Okay. Well, let's talk
'Cause
about
I don't know.
let's talk about Bloodborne, guys. What are we thinking of Bloodborne? You guys have a discussion about Bloodborne. I'm looking this up real quick.
Very good. What are the things you like about Bloodborne?
Well, I'd say I like all of it except the loading time, so I like everything about it.
I think that's everyone's pretty much general complaint about the game.
And even the loading times aren't like, I'm like, oh, this ruins it. I'm just like, well, like if it was quicker, I'd like it.
The thing is, like, loading into the Hunter's Dream, is it called? Like, that's really quick because it's just that little small area.
Yeah.
But once you're loading back into the world or after you die, it takes a really long time. So,
like you said, though, it's understandable. I mean, because the whole world is like, there's no barriers. Like, you can just go from place to place seamlessly.
You can pretty much just run through the world with.
So I mean, it makes sense as to why it takes a long time to load. I mean, it doesn't. At least it doesn't take as long as GTA takes to load, because GTA 5 on next gen takes, even when you first launch the game, takes forever to load.
GTA
Which is
5
also a
on
massive game.
Anything takes forever to load.
Yeah.
Which that's understandable. Because when you die and stuff, it doesn't take that long to get back on. But yes, WB is publishing The Witcher.
Okay, good.
So we were correct. Gonna check that one. But yeah, as they were talking about, the big game was Bloodborne came out. You know, and from initials, as you can see from our first impressions, and we're going to be putting up some co-op Let's Plays. We got one coming out this week of me and Garrett taking on a beast, and we're going to be recording another one probably coming out next week with all three of us.
Hopefully the next one will have all of us, which will be even more exciting.
Yeah, it'll be good. Those are really fun and entertaining. I highly suggest you check them out. I think they're very good. But yeah, we are digging the game. Immensely, like they said, the only hindrance is those load screens. So
which is minor, really.
Yeah,
that's
really,
not a big deal.
It's kind of like a bummer, like when you get to a boss and you're just like destroyed, and then you're just like sitting there, just like, eh.
Every time a boss kills me, I'm just like,
it's like silence, just like the black screen.
Like at least put some like some pictures or something, like some descriptions, like some artwork or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or like pictures of kittens or something. Like, it'll be better.
Like demon kittens.
Demon
blood
kittens.
kittens.
It like gives you time because the screen is black, so you see yourself in the reflection.
Yeah.
And you're just like sulking in like your sorrow.
I'm an idiot.
Killed. But yeah, game is absolutely fantastic. I think we should start going through the things that we like the most about that game. And by no means is this a review, because none of us are even close to being done with the game.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't count as a review. But this is probably as close to a review as we're going to get. We probably won't talk about it in this manner.
Yeah.
This is just our kind of an addition to our first impressions on what we initially think about the game. So
it's kind of hard to do reviews when you don't get like review copies of the game.
Yeah, exactly, because nobody's even going to listen to a review, especially by us when it's like
a month late.
Yeah, like we finally beat it and it's 2016. It was a cool game.
It was a cool game.
I don't even know if I'll
recommend you pick it up if you haven't.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard game to beat, man.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
That game is, and that's what I like about this game, is being new to the From Software games. And I know, granted, they've, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne isn't their only game they've ever made, but it's the first game I've ever played by them. It's like a breath of fresh air playing these games that hold your hand so much.
Yeah.
It's just like, it just throws you into the world and just kicks your teeth in.
Yeah.
And it's like, learn from that. And the game respects you as like a person almost. Like it's like, it like requires you to like, actually get good at the game, and it doesn't
learn from your mistakes.
Exactly.
It's a huge part of the game.
Exactly. There's no handicaps or anything. So
like tips and tricks. I mean, there's people that can leave notes, but that's about it. It
like,
isn't like the game's telling you what to do.
Exactly. And it's not like they told you push circle.
It doesn't even tell you where to go.
Yeah, it told you like how to do the controls. Yeah, because I saw the first cutscene, I was like, okay, and then it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
Go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Good luck.
It's like literally good luck.
Yeah, well, I remember that original like werewolf
thing. The
thing.
first thing you encounter this.
Yeah, I just like tried punching it to death. I'm like, am I supposed to kill this thing? And like I got half its health down just punching it, and then it killed me. I was like, what? And then you like wake up in the hunter's dream. I was like, oh.
I was like, if this is how this game is gonna be, after dying to the first guy, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
And like this game, it's like there's a huge learning curve if you've never played a Souls game, because it's like getting to. I did not go, if you know the game. There's in the initial area of Yharnam, there's like 2 bosses you can pretty much get to. There's the is it the
I
Celtic
think
beast?
it's
Beast.
like the
Beast,
Celtic
whatever.
Celtic beast or something. Yeah.
Whatever. It's the big hairy guy.
Yeah.
Or if the tentacle looking dude. Somebody said it was like Zur, like the demon form of Zur. With all his tentacles. I thought that was pretty funny.
That bastard.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, you can either go to him or you can go to the father, Gilgamesh. Or whatever.
Is it like,
Father,
is it
yeah.
Gascon?
Gascon,
I don't know.
Gascon or something.
I don't
Yeah.
remember his name. And I went to him first.
Yeah.
And you saw me fight him the first time.
Yeah.
And our
And-
first impressions too.
Yeah, exactly. And I was at that point, I was just like I don't know if I can do this.
After
Like,
watching you
that's-
do that on that video, like I don't know if I was doubting my own abilities. Like, it looks so hard.
it makes you like really like intimidated by the game because I really had a thought like, dude, like I don't know if I can beat this. Like this
Yeah.
is hard. Like this
Uh-huh.
is really hard. And then it just clicks.
Yeah.
And you by no means are you like are good at the game,
Yeah.
but it just like clicks on how the game works.
Yeah.
How to maneuver around the enemies. How to like on the first bridge, for instance, there's 2 werewolves.
Yeah.
I would like to know, how did you get past the first 2 werewolves? Because I wanted to know how you did that.
I mean, honestly, I just took them on one at a time. Like somehow I just threw a rock and only one came.
So you killed them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't die.
Nice.
Okay.
Somehow.
Me and Garrett lured them away into a hole.
Yeah. And they got stuck in a hole, literally.
Yeah.
Which hole?
There's a whole
Which set of stairs?
you know where you get the hunter armor in the sewer?
Yeah.
How
You
jump
took them down there?
down? Took them down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like that made me I'm like, how do I get past these guys? And I saw the hole and I was like, I wonder if I can get them in there because I didn't think I could beat them in a straight up fight. And I was just like, that game is just so like gratifying. You're just like, once you do something, you're just like, yes. Like,
There's
I
just
did
not
it.
a lot of games out right now that throw so much like fearsome enemies that are hard to kill at you like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is may or may not be a problem. I think we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely just refreshing to have a challenge in video games again.
Yeah.
Because every game that we buy now, it's pretty easy.
Even when we play in the
for the
hardest
most part.
difficulty, it's easy. Like even
Yeah.
The Last of Us in the hardest difficulty. I mean, it was a challenge at some parts, but for the most part, like I wouldn't even call it compared to Bloodborne. I wouldn't even call that hard.
After the hardest game up until Bloodborne I ever played was World at War on Veteran.
Yeah.
That is
Just 'cause of the grenades.
Oh yeah, the most BS thing I've ever played in my life. And Bloodborne is so good at its hardness because it's like fair hardness.
Yeah.
Whereas in Call of Duty World at War, you had like the Nazis were Peyton Manning basically, just like hitting grenades right at your feet every 5
I
seconds.
remember that. That was such a pain.
I hated it. But Bloodborne is so fair. It's like when you die, it's almost like, okay, well, it's like as you're staring into like your soul on the screen, you're like,
At the time, you don't think it's fair because you're kind
yeah. Like even when I fought the father dude, I'm like, this is bullcrap and stuff. Whereas, okay, I figured him out. Did you know about the music box?
Yes.
Okay.
I went into that fight with the music box.
I did too. And did you use it too much? Did you see our?
I only used it
play?
once. So.
Okay, me and Garrett used it like 8 times.
Yeah, I
and he
saw it.
turned into a werewolf.
Yeah, I
Like
think
10 seconds
you have to use it
fight.
before that. I think.
Yeah, but I think that
Once he
like,
turns,
encouraged him turning. I think if you
Think
use
so?
it to, I know so.
He
'cause-
turned in like 10 seconds when we
Yeah,
fought.
we were like, yeah! We were freaking out.
But it did stun him though. Like that's what it does.
It did, but like we used it like 8 times, and he just turned. So he was like,
Yeah.
"F this."
Don't
it's-
abuse the luxury.
Yeah.
That's what the game teaches you, and it's like we played co-op and beat a boss together, and then it like I got back to the game and I had to beat the boss. So it was almost like no.
Yeah.
It's like you can help your friend beat the boss, but you have to beat the boss. There's
Yeah.
no easy way out in this game.
Yeah.
There's none. It's like you. Which is good because it makes you feel like you did something.
Yeah.
I went back and fought that boss by myself, and I got it. It was the Blood-Starved Beast, like the third boss. And like my third try, I beat him without getting hit because I played that boss like 9 times like that night. So
Yeah.
I learned how to beat that boss and stuff. So it's just so gratifying in that. And like you said, there's no games out that but Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It just makes you be careful because not only do you have to fight the boss again, but you have to get back to the boss, and all the enemies respawn every time you die.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You really got to know what you're doing and be careful. Just make smart choices, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, what I do when I get to a new area is I'm constantly looking for those checkpoints back to the beginning area.
Yeah.
Because that just at least makes me feel like
even if you die, you can get back.
But at the same time, when
that's
you're looking for checkpoints,
sense of relief.
You don't want to explore too much because when you get a lot of blood echoes, you want to make sure you get back and cash them in before you die.
This game is risk and reward. It's like I got 15,000 blood echoes, but there's like a body over there with a little thing on there. I'm like, do I go see it? Or the minute I walk out here is a freaking wolf gonna like
jumps down
eat me or something. So it's all about risk reward, just like, should I push it and really screw myself or not? Which is, it's so, not only is the combat so strategic and like just brutal, but it's like every single thing in this game is strategic. Like, should I use these blood vials? Am I like in a dire need to use these? Should I use my, my co-op things? Like, or am I going to really need them at the next boss fight or anything? It's like literally everything in this game is made to make you think. It's made to, like I said, it really respects you as a player. To like, it does not hold your name. It's like you are a capable human being. You know how you can learn how to do this and stuff, which has been gone since like the early NES games. Because I don't know about you guys, but back then games were hard.
Yeah,
like that is gone now.
Games were just, that was the norm for games to be hard. And
when you
felt
beat
accomplished.
A game, nobody beat every game.
Yeah, you don't play the Call of Duty campaign to feel accomplished anymore. It's more about stories now more than games being hard.
Yeah.
That's kind of the shift we've gone down.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with, like, we were talking about The Last of Us, which me and you, when we got the remaster version, played it on the hardest difficulty possible. Yeah. There were a few parts where I was like, oh, this is a little hard, but it was good. And that by no means is taking away from that game, because I still feel like that's one of the best games ever made, purely because of its really good gameplay and its story and stuff. Yeah. But this is a completely different game. This game story, I don't even know if it exists. Yeah. It's just, it exists, but it's very vague.
I feel like the environments tell more about the story than really...
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Than the actual, like, what characters are talking
the visuals, the world you're in is telling the story.
Is fantastic.
I made comments in the first impressions. I love how like everything looks.
Yeah.
It's just so like eerie and
that's what
unsettling.
It's originally what attracted me to the game, was like the very first image I saw. I was like, I don't know what that is, but it looks so cool.
Yeah. Because Dark Souls is like, as good as Dark Souls and Demon Souls games are, they're like, medieval RPG. This is unique. Like, this is really this Victorian, like, just hell, basically.
It reminds me of Halloween the whole time. It reminds me of.
No, yeah. And let's, since we're talking about design, dude, let's talk about the creatures. Like, those dudes are...
Yeah, they're brilliantly designed.
Yeah.
They're so...
These guys got
we're not even that far into the game, and there's been, like, how enemies attack you and stuff. There's been a ton of diversity.
Yeah.
And this doesn't really have to do with, like, the way they play against you or anything, but the ones that creep me out the most so far are the ones that I've told you guys, the ones that wear those hoods.
I was talking about them last night with you.
They freak me out because they remind me of the creatures from the village. And I know in the movie, spoiler alert, it's actually the villagers dressed up as them to scare the people to stay in the old town. But before you know that, those creatures like freaked me out for some reason in that movie. Just like they're all like hunched over and they have like those hoods and like the long fingers and stuff. That's what those creatures look like, and they freak me out. I mean, they're easy to kill, but they freak me out just the way they look. And I remember they scream at you.
The first time I fought one of those, and then like he raised up a little bit to claw me, and I saw his face.
He has like the red eyes.
I was not expecting that.
That's what's really cool about the game is when you see a new enemy, it's automatically intimidating.
You're already like,
because you don't know how it's going to attack you, how strong it is, or anything.
Yeah. So you have to take a step back and like let him attack you a little bit.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what he's doing.
You know what guys are the hardest to me so far? Just in my experience with like the really tall, lanky wolf guys that carry around like it looks like a rake.
Those
guys
like
smash you.
Destroy
Holy crap, those guys are hard to kill.
Yeah, they're scary as crap too. Yeah. They're really
I always
hard.
avoid
they don't
those
look
guys.
Like they're hard either.
Yeah.
It's almost like you never know with these guys, because the first time I went into the cathedral ward and I saw the guys with the white mask on, they looked like they were going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And they weren't that hard.
No.
And I've died by the crows hopping around and stuff.
I hate the crows.
Yeah, they're easy though. You hit them like twice and they're done, but it's just like if you
let
mess
them get
up
you though,
one time, you're done.
The barking crows.
I don't like the crows. And you remember those like, I don't even know what to call them. They were like these ghoul things in the water in the sewers and Arnhem.
I never.
Those things were terrifying.
That's in the Let's Play of me and Garrett fighting the second boss. We just ran through all of them because they were
so
just
freaky.
Yeah,
and you can't tell if they're dead or alive.
I whack everything. That's it.
All the barrels.
If there's something on the ground that looks like somebody, I will whack it just to make sure. So I'm going around just whacking dead stuff. But yeah, so the enemy design is absolutely fantastic. The bosses are crazy good. Mm-hmm. Like they're just creepy, from like the vagina faced blood monster to the next boss, the wolf thing, which just makes me shiver. It looks so freaking creepy.
Yeah. I'm willing to say, like, I've never had this much fun fighting bosses since like Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of. I remember every boss fight in Kingdom Hearts.
They're like in Kingdom Hearts. Maybe some of them weren't that hard, but they were unique.
No.
They're unique in that game.
Maybe Sephiroth. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if Final Fantasy is the same way, but because I've never played it.
Yeah.
Any of them, but
well, it's definitely not on the same level as combat wise as Bloodborne or something.
Of course.
That's exciting too in that game. Once you beat a next boss, you're like, well, got to figure out what to do next, and you have to like go out and explore and figure out where you're headed next, which is cool.
Yeah, because like I said, I stumbled up on a boss. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to even fight until... Because technically, from what I've seen, we weren't even supposed to be fighting the blood-starved beast yet.
Really?
Yeah. That's apparently the fourth boss, from what I read. Yeah. So, it's kind of just like,
Which is cool, because you can pick your way. It doesn't matter which way you go. You're just exploring.
Exactly. I mean, I've gone past the wolf boss. I'm in, like, this forest... way away, like the tombstone you spawn on.
Yeah,
I'm on a different tombstone.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So I apparently just exploring, just running around and stuff. So the game, like we were talking about, how it doesn't hold your hand. It is by no means linear.
Yeah.
It literally drops you into this giant world, like open world basically, and it's just like I mean,
to some extent, it hinders how far you can go until you kill a boss. But
true.
Yeah.
And also the wheelchair guy at the Hunter's Dream, he will tell you like a tip, like, hey, go here, because right now he's telling me go to Odin's palace or something.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
told me that too.
Yeah, where the werewolf is. So I mean, there is a path, but like I said, you can go to different areas. Like we were talking about how we were teleported to just that weird area and stuff like that. So that's what also is great about that game, is I've never played a game where the sense of exploration is like really important.
Honestly, probably not since like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyrim.
That's like basically on the same... I mean, Skyrim, of course, is like bigger in terms of that, but it's just on the sense of like how important it is, where it's like, finding blood echoes.
You're rewarded for exploring,
exactly,
which is something I love in games.
Yeah.
And you're met with a challenge when you explore.
Right.
Yeah. Like if
you never know what you're going to run into.
I know the risk I'm taking by going out to...
I went off the beaten path in Cathedral Ward, and I had to fight like 4 of these giant things, and then a really big dude, and I got like a bloodstone at the end, and that was it down there. So I fought through all that, not to progress the story, not to progress everything, but because this was an off beaten path, and I thought something might be down there, and there is something down there. That's what's good about this game is it's like, oh, you made it past everybody. Yeah. Here's a reward.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be like do all this stuff for no reason.
Exactly.
Like, they're gonna reward you.
So they'll it's not as cruel as like they're kicking you in the nuts, and then you get somewhere and they're like your joke's on you. You just wasted like on you 4 hours getting past these guys for nothing to be there. So, but yeah, in terms like we've basically said, in terms of gameplay, it's amazing. Hard but forgiving. The overall scope of the game is awesome. The enemy designs are amazing and stuff like that. So let's get into what a lot of people are talking about. Is this game too hard? Is it too hard?
No. That's like all I have to say.
Because some people are thinking this game is too hard, and they're just complaining.
Yeah, those people are wimps.
Yeah. What do you think?
I feel like the gaming industry is made up of a lot of different types of gamers, obviously, but I don't think it's too hard. I mean, there's no games like this, so like no one told you to go buy the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew going into the game that it was going to be challenging.
Yeah.
So I really don't see what the problem is. Like, people just need to...
There isn't a problem. Yeah, people just want to complain to complain.
Yeah, people love to complain. Yeah. I mean, I can understand why it's very frustrating to people. I think it's really hard. I mean, I get frustrated at times, but it's a different kind of frustration. It isn't a frustration it's like, this game's screwing me over, I hate this. It's a frustration it's like, man, I could have done better than that. I got to do better next time type frustration.
So,
for me, it's just the motivation, like, I know I can do this. Like, if I just concentrate and, like, just study what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I like achieving things that seem impossible.
Yeah. I don't remember this much emphasis on people complaining about a game being hard when Demon's Souls or Dark Souls came out. It's like, I believe since, PlayStation people are really looking for a brand new game to play and stuff, a lot more people are buying this game that, probably weren't that interested in the Dark Souls games.
Perhaps because of the lack of exclusives this year for PlayStation.
That's exactly the reason.
Yeah.
So all these guys that, they buy their, not to bash, but they're like Call of Duties, and that's the extent of their difficulty.
This game is definitely not for everyone.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No.
But tons of people are buying it that maybe wouldn't buy it otherwise.
I saw one forum section where this guy was like, guys, this game is too hard. And his like argument was like, I thought this game was going to be like Skyrim. Like, I thought this was just an open world RPG. And people were like, where did you even come to think about that? It's like, do you know this developer and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So Dark Souls slogan, it's like, prepare to die. I never saw this with this game. The only reason I knew I was going to die a lot is because about who was making it. So maybe, I don't think they were as like blatant as like, you're going to die in this game. Because I don't even know if the back of the box says like, you're going to die a lot, like Dark Souls.
Perhaps that's not the best marketing strategy either.
I mean,
I kind of like that though.
I mean, that's the thing. That is a very hardcore gamer type of game. Like nobody that doesn't know about games is like going to go in that store and be like, I've heard about that game or anything. Because, I mean, there's commercials here and there, but essentially, like, you've got to be pretty involved in, the games that are coming out and the game industry, keeping up to date with it if you know anything about Bloodborne.
Yeah, I mean, it's not your Destiny, Call of Duty, like, heavily advertised kind of game, so.
Exactly. So, I mean, these people, I mean, it's always good. I mean, that's kind of, if you're interested in getting this game, look at gameplay. Read these reviews coming out. Don't just go out on a whim and buy this game thinking that, like... being accustomed to, playing your games on easy mode and stuff like that, because you're really going to be like, whoa, like, if you go into this game not thinking, I went into this game knowing that I'm going to die probably 500,000 times.
Yeah.
All of us did. And because we went in with that mindset, when we died, we weren't like taken back, like, holy crap, I died. What do I do now? So you really have to go in with that mentality to play this game.
Yeah.
So... maybe they could have advertised it better in that way.
Also the problem is there's not a lot of games like this, so people don't know how to take these kind of games.
Yeah. They're like, what is this?
Yeah, like, why is this game
Where's
so
my
hard?
checkpoint?
Why
did I lose all my money?
Like,
I mean, if
there needs to be more games that are hard like this.
I agree.
From different studios.
I want to play hard games.
Right.
I do. They're fun. They're rewarding. I know this is kind of like... not on the same level at all, but like beating Halo 4 on Legendary by myself, that was pretty hard. It by no means was this, but it's like, I know you beat it too, and the last couple of levels in that game are really hard. Like, you really have to take your time and stuff, and it's just like a sense of like, oh sweet, I beat it. That hard achievement pops and stuff like that. It's very gratifying beating hard games, and I want more of that.
Yeah.
So after playing this game, especially, like, maybe when Dark Souls 2 comes out for PS4, maybe I might pick that up, if I'm still having an itch, for a type of game like this, because I really now want the industry to, respect the people and, like, know that we're not just, like, dumb. Like, push X to jump. Like, I think I've been playing games long enough to,
the Order 1886 loves just to press the buttons.
That's more of a,
we love the game, by the way.
I like
which we talked about.
I wouldn't say I love it, but it's definitely.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoyed it for sure.
It was better than what people made it out to be.
I agree.
Let's just say that.
I agree.
I think one of the best parts about the difficulty for me also is that it's difficult to the point where I have to be 100% honed in on the game every time I play it. I can't just be like half-assing Like I can't be talking to anyone else. I mean, you and me were in a party last night. We would like chat.
We'd chat a little bit, but then we'd concentrate.
We'd be like silent
hang on,
for like
I gotta
5
take care of
minutes.
these guys.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it is that you have to be like 100% invested in the game. And any other game that's come out in the last like I don't know how many years, I could literally like I'll play like Destiny, listening to a podcast, or I'll like be playing Far Cry, like listening to music, or like even like watching something while playing it. Like I don't do that just because I'm like bored with a game. Like I've enjoyed all the games I've played in the past, but what I mean is like I don't have any other choice but to be 100% focused on Bloodborne when I'm playing it, because otherwise I'm screwed.
I mean, even in our co-op gameplay, you know, we were having fun and like cracking jokes and having fun, but it's like when we got to the boss, it was like
it was go time.
It was go time. It was time for sure.
And you guys will see on I believe it's this Thursday, if you're watching this podcast on Monday when it's released, our boss fights. I mean, we're still cracking jokes and stuff, but there's a few times in the boss fight where it's just like silence, and occasionally we'll be like, look out.
Yeah.
Dodge this way. Look out. Yeah. Throw your what's that, blood stench?
Blood cocktail.
Pungent blood cocktails, yeah.
I didn't think to use those.
Yeah.
Those kind of helped.
Yeah.
In reality,
that's the thing that it lures the enemy, right?
So Garrett would be like, he'd be chasing. He like really liked Garrett for some reason.
Yeah, he was chasing me. He wanted to give me a few smooches. Yeah.
So I was like throwing those things like crazy. I eventually ran out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game you definitely have to be focused. And
good stuff.